We're back.
We are.
Second year of Venture Robotics camps and events going on.
Already?
It's that time.
Yes, it is.
We have a jam-packed month of June up ahead. And things going on in July and even the first week of August, since school for MISD starts a little later this year. So we are going to tell you what we're doing this summer. What's up? Okay. Number one, I want to tell you that we will be at Kids College, Midland College's Kids College. Venture Robotics is there, and we're going to have our Nights Roundup. That's back for a second year. If kids do that, it's mainly for first and second grade. It's an early introduction to the MBOT robot, and we incorporate some of our 3D printed items in this event and have a lot of fun with that. They learn a little bit of
coding. So they actually can hit up and learn a little bit of the Scratch coding as well as some other things. They learn how to drive, they learn how to build. It's all in
the line following,
yep.
The
echolocations, extrasensory, so they can make sure that they can actually have a robot that can see and hear.
Yeah, so all things basic and introductory for that Nights Roundup at Kids College, Midland College. You need to get there now and get registered now for that because it is filling up fast. But also at Kids College at Midland College, we're going to have the Robo Roundup, in which we will have the MBOT. We will have
the Ranger, which is one of the versatile ones. We got several different ways of putting this guy together. We got the regular tank package where we'll be learning about different drivetrains and how they handle terrain and different things like that. We'll also be learning about configurations. So the other configuration of the Ranger is what we call the Raptor package. This allows for front wheel drive, and some people who've been here before know whenever I say that it's a little bit, we call this one Tokyo Drift as well. It's a little bit faster than usual.
But we also have the Omnibot.
We have the Omnibot, also known, aka the Sidewinder. He can go forward, he can go backward, he can go side to side, and we can talk about all the different uses that we have in the real world and what we do with these things.
And so in the Robo Roundup, the kids get a chance to experience different types of robots. And that class is really more for your third grade on up. So if they have done the Nights Roundup, or they are third grade on up, they have a chance to get into the Robo Roundup. And then also new this year at Kids College, at Midland College, is a coding camp that we will have especially for learning real world experiences, and we'll be using our Neos.
Yep, introducing the Neo, we have several different types of configurations for this, but what's so interesting about this one is this one runs off of Python. So Python is a new language for you who've been under a rock for about maybe the last month. We have a thing called AI that's came out. And so this is the basic building blocks for doing different things along those lines of running into artificial intelligence and kind of having a robot that can make decisions. It's not Skynet. It's not going to take over the world. It's just learning the basics of what goes into that kind of thinking.
Yeah, we're going to take this and apply it to like a real world scenario, like with the West Texas Food Bank. So kids get to understand a little bit about how nonprofits have importance in this area, but also see how automation can be applied and is very helpful and useful in many things in today's world. And so not only is the Neo going to be new this year, we are also going to have a class about drones, and we're going to only offer the drone session in the last session of Kids College, meaning the second session and the last class of that day, so that later 3:30 type session. And so tell us a little bit about the drone that we're going to use for that.
So we're going to be making use of the new and up and coming Code Drone Edu. This is a very nice thing. It is probably one of the better drones that I've seen in a while. I'll probably get some video of that thing flying here in a little while to add into the video. But they are using that. The REC Foundation is using this as one of their drones. It's able to be coded. It's able to register colors. It's able to do all kinds of things that we've been wanting to get into with how do we take a platform like this and then marry it with something that we can do with flying. And this is the closest thing we can get to these two parodies to be able to do this. So, very interesting, very fun.
So the basis of that camp will be to learn about drones and drone flying, and then to begin to start learning about how drones can be coded. It will not only be all about coding the drone, but also about learning some important skills with flying. Just an introduction, very introductory. So
I hear we're going to have some simulators too, so that we can kind of give them a little bit of an intro before we get to fly, because it's kind of nice to know if you can drive or not before you get behind the wheel.
And that drone session at Kids College will be for those who are 4th, 5th, and 6th graders. So if you're 6th graders, like, there's nothing at Kids College for me, yeah, there is. But you got to hurry. Space is filling up fast.
Yeah, it's going really fast.
So Kids College is in the afternoon. So what are we doing in the mornings? Well, we're doing a lot. We're going to have 3 different camps in the month of June. And the first camp in the month of June is known as Rescue Robots or Rescue Bots. And we're going to be using this style of robot building with the VEX.
So if some of you have been in before, you're like, oh no, not the VEX that we had from last year. So what we have found out is we can actually use better brains. So we have the same robots, but we have better brains. So you can actually build on and have a little bit more surety that your project will work. We've been working on doing all kinds of stuff to improve upon what we did on our last camps to make sure that we can get the more bang for our buck in moving stuff around. Also, what we'll be doing is with using those types of brains, we get all kinds of interesting sensors. We are going to be looking at several scenarios from the past year that we're going to be going through and doing. This is a flame sensor. We have our thermistor, which is kind of registering humidity and temperature. And then we have some scenarios where you're going to need a little bit of extra light. So the extra light will be included on this. And the thing is what we'll be doing is we'll be translating all of that back into your own custom dashboard. So we'll be creating a dashboard that will be able to pull up different things. But also, here's the other thing. Usually in remote operations, you are not in the area that you go into. So what we're going to do to simulate that is we will be mounting FPV cameras onto the thing. So you will be having either a goggle simulation or we'll be projecting what you will be seeing from the robot on the wall. Yeah,
and Rescue Bots is to help simulate a real life scenario. For example, when the parking garage collapsed, I think it was in New York.
Yes,
right? In
that's
New
right.
York. And people needed to be rescued or to send in robots to actually do the job that's very dangerous and doesn't risk more human lives. So we can simulate that, or also in case of a tornado or a hurricane, some damage is done and there needs to be an effort to go and look for either people or animals, or just to go into a dangerous situation without risking more lives.
And we'll be having video to complement that, and also we will be talking about different types of things and also how to assess a scenario that you're going into, because we have to talk about size, scale, and everything else on how do we get more people out safely.
Exactly. And so that's the Rescue Bots that will be June 13th through the 15th, and also June 27th through the 29th. So we have 2 different week options for that camp. They're the same camp, but at different weeks. But right in the middle of that, kind of making a sandwich, is June 20th through the 22nd, we are planning to have a coding camp to where students can kind of get a little bit of training in on that coding area.
We're trying to kind of, I guess, use the word of stratify to kind of get where we are, to have a little bit of a taste on each of the different parts of coding. Usually everybody looks at me and says, oh man, we're doing Scratch again. So Scratch is the building block that goes to different types of coding. So we go from Scratch to Java to Python, and then from there, that's when you start using all of your other libraries that come in handy whenever you start getting into competition. So the whole goal is not to be like a super master at everything, but to have an exposure and then be able to engage it and be able to run it through these things.
To build on to what you learn at this camp.
Right.
It's opening the door to a wider understanding of how coding works and where it works best and in which applications it works best.
Right.
And so we've got that coming up in June. That's a huge amount of things going on. But we also have in July and in August, we have our Busy Bots camp, where we will have 5 through 8-year-olds that will be at our facility to hang out, have a great time. And honestly, those camps are almost full. They really are. They are probably our most popular, and they really are a lot of fun. And so those are coming up in July and August. And then we have, at the end of July, we are planning an evening camp, again, to go over a more intense understanding of drones and what we use drones for, that even adults can attend. We plan that one to be specifically in the evening because we are looking for an older audience for maybe the 12, 13 on up. And again, adults can come to that. So we'll have these camps on our website, venturerobotics.net. They're already there on our website. If you go into the camps and classes tab on the menu, you will find these classes listed there. You can also follow us on our Instagram. If you haven't already followed us on Instagram, you can do that. And we'll also make this available in the comments of this video. So we look forward to meeting you if we don't already know you.
So, stay cool, everybody.
Yeah. And I do want to say that registration is $65, and then the rest of the camp you pay upon the date of start of camp. And so it's a total $165 for the camps that are not drone. Drone is $175 for that one. So, all right. We look forward
see you
to seeing
there
you this summer.
All right.